Colorado health officials have confirmed that a resident has contracted the bacterial infection that caused the plague, the deadly medieval disease that caused patients to cough up blood and for their skin to blacken, hence its ominous nickname, the Black Death. It is not known how the individual became infected, however, the bacteria can be passed via a touching wild rodents and the bites of infected fleas. Last year, a Colorado native caught the disease from their pet cat. The United States confirms that just 7 cases of the plague every year happen. Symptoms of the plague can look similar to those like the flu, including sudden fever, chills, severe head and muscle aches, nausea, and vomiting. It can also cause swollen lymph nodes called bulbous, which can become inflamed, tender, and tissue like the hands and feet may turn black. If left untreated, it can spread to the lungs and other organs, as well as the blood, with potentially fatal consequences. The so-called Black Death may have been a death sentence in the 14th century, but advances in modern medicine, namely the advent of antibiotics as well as improved overall hygiene, has made it curable. A person with the plague, which can be spread between people via coughing or sneezing, can now be treated with antibiotics, though only if they're initiated within a couple of days after symptoms such as fever appear. Infections typically begin in wild rodents and infected fleas, which can colonize on pet skin. People become infected when they come into contact with infected animals or respiratory droplets from a sick person. The source of the infection in Colorado is still unknown. Scientists have previously found samples of the bacteria living in squirrels in the state. The plague has become very rare in the United States since the 15th century outbreak that wiped out large swaths of European population. Most recently, in February, an Oregon resident caught the deadly illness from her cat. However, she was treated in the early stages of the disease and no additional cases were found in the area. And in 2021, a 10-year-old girl in Colorado died from the disease, the first death since 2015. The state reported 22 cases of the plague between 2005 and 2020. In 2015, 4 people died of the plague nationwide, including 2 from Colorado, an adult in Pueblo County and a teenager in Larimer County, according to Colorado News. Plague is more commonly seen in summer months because of the bacteria can reproduce rapidly in warm temperatures and higher humidity. People also tend to spend more time outdoors in the summer, widening opportunities for infected animals to transmit the bacteria to humans. Pueblo County health officials state it's crucial to eliminate potential rodent habits around residential areas and recreational sports by clearing out bush, rock piles, trash, and lumber piles to reduce where the rodents can hide and breed, minimizing the risk of exposure to fleas carrying plague bacteria. Additionally, they recommend individuals avoid direct contact with dead animals. If handling is necessary, then should wear insect repellent with DEET to protect against flea bites. Using a long-handled shovel, place the animal in a secure garbage bag, and dispose of it promptly in an outdoor trash can. To further prevent flea bites, it is recommended to apply DEET-based insect repellent to exposed skin and clothing, particularly on pants, socks, shoes, tops, arms, and legs. Pets should not be allowed to sleep in beds to minimize potential flea exposure. Regular flea treatment for pets is essential while flea collars are ineffective. It's also crucial to keep pets away from rodent-prone areas such as prairie dog colonies and store their food in secure, rodent-proof containers to prevent contamination and subsequent exposure to plague bacteria. These measures are essential for reducing the risk of plague transmissions and ensuring community safety. I just want to say, never at a point in time did I ever think that I would be around where people would be like, "Hey, guess what? The plague is here. it's coming back. It's trying. It's struggling. It has a little bit of legs to go. But remember back in the 15th century? Of course you don't. Even though you weren't there. Yeah. The plague that took out a lot of Europeans. Yeah. That's in the United States now. Again, how did that get here? Who transferred that here? Because you're not going to sit up there and tell me that supernaturally it just jumped from one continent to another. No. That was transferred. Somebody is releasing that. You're not going to tell me that just out the blue that here we go. And then a few people caught it. No, it's in the exact same state. So that's leading me to think that it's being released. I'm not sure how it's being released, but it's being released. And it's crazy to note that this is happening. That's crazy. That is 100% crazy. Again, this is something that was in history books. Like when people think about the megalodon, or people think about the leviathan, dragons, and all of these things that were mythological. So to say, like stuff that you would never get a chance to ever see. Right, you were never there. It happened so far long ago, right? And here we are. I never thought at all. This is just wow. That is eye opening. Um, Again, what is Colorado realistically doing? Like, of course, we got medical science. It's a miracle, right? But it's still here. So you mean to tell me that y'all didn't come up with some type of like vaccine or something to give to the animals or the wildlife so that they can pretty much breed that out of existence to make the animals black plague resistant? They're able to make mosquitoes resistant to certain types of diseases. So I'm pretty sure they can genetically modify the DNA of animals, reverse that somehow and figure out what makes them tick so that they can have a vaccine based off of their DNA to make sure that they're basically resistant, right? So that even if they are in the wild and they come to another animal that has the black plague and they fight, get scratched or whatnot or whatever, they're not going to get it. I feel the exact same way when it deals with rabies, right? Rabies, they got a vaccine for rabies when it deals with animals, but I think because I remember reading something about it. But anyways, I find it amazing that they have not found a 100%, right? Genetically, again, like I said before, genetically modify the animals and whatnot so that they are resistant to it, so that if they come into contact with it, they are pretty much completely fine and dandy, which means that the ones that are not modified or pretty much are going to die out from existence. So they won't be able to spread that DNA, or that strand that's able to carry that won't be present anymore, right? So that will pretty much eliminate that, because if human beings come into contact with rabies, it's pretty much a death sentence, pretty much, and it is not good at all. You won't be able to. You'll pretty much instantly become hydrophobic. Like you will have a fear of water. Your body is going to shudder. Your body is not going to allow you to take that water. You would have thought that the human body was controlled by a parasite, because they actually do have parasites like that within insects, which stop them from going directly in the water. They will allow them to go everywhere else but water, right? So I don't know. Like I said, I just found this interesting, and I want to know what other people's opinions directly on this are. And again, I'm not, bringing this up for any type of a, so-called quote unquote scare tactic. It's to make people aware of the different things that are transpiring in and around us at this moment in time. Because again, everybody cannot be everywhere at, every given point in time. It's always nice to, know a little bit of information and be able to carry that. Maybe you can have it as a conversation and bring it up with other people. And, do what you do with the information. But anyways, let me know what you guys feel and think about this story in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.